Back here on WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. Now joining us, the head football coach of the Temple University Owls, and that's Steve Addazio. Steve, Zach Gelb here at Temple Sports Hour. How are you?
I'm doing great, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing great myself, and you were an assistant coach with the Florida Gators under the direction of Urban Meyer. I'm a New Yorker, and all year long, I've been hearing Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow. If you were the head coach of the New York Jets, would you go with Tebow or Sanchez under center?
I'm not the coach of the New York Jets. Thank God I don't have to make that decision. I mean, I don't know all the dynamics of that football team. All I can tell you is that I know Tim's a winner and a great competitor and a great representative of football of the New York Jets. So I just wish the best for him.
What impressed you most about Tim Tebow when you first walked in the room and were able to be with him?
I mean, he's just tremendous work ethic, tremendous character, relentless competitor, unbelievable drive to be great in everything he did.
Well, last time you guys had a bye week, and we'll move on to the USF game now. Your team came out very slow, but I was talking to Harry Donahue of KYW, and he told me your team during that last bye week before the Penn State game was very upbeat. They played at a high pace in practice. Did you do anything differently this time around for the bye week coming up against USF?
I mean, yeah, we're just, we live scrimmage situations. I mean, we have a young football team right now. We're thrilled, and we think we have a great future with this group, but they're young, and we're trying to build consistency and execution. With young teams, it's hard to get that early. The bye weeks have helped us from that standpoint. They've hurt us, though, because we haven't had, it's hard to get in a rhythm, and really, we haven't found our identity yet. It's hard to do when you're kind of in a game, out 2 weeks, in a game, out 2 weeks, and you're young. And, your pieces are young, so you're trying to weed through that. That's where we are right now. We practice, got great kids. Our kids got a great work ethic, and we feel like, we're definitely improving. We're not that far off. I mean, you look at the Maryland game, we played a bad first half. If you take that out, we're still right in the middle of the game at the end anyways. We go against Penn State. We're really right in the middle of that game. We gave up a touchdown before half, which hurt us. But there was a bunch of plays that you watch the game, you can see, and we missed easy plays that could have been made. We just missed an overthrow on the tight end for a touchdown, which would have been 7-7 at that point. But that's who we are right now. And, we're striving to get more consistent play. But that takes time a little bit with a young team, but we know we'll get there.
And in the Penn State game, I saw your backup quarterback was warming up on the sideline. Is Coyer the starting quarterback of this Temple team?
Oh, yeah, he's a starting quarterback, and Chris will have a great opportunity to go out there. But, our team, every position to me is all about you got to perform, you got to play, and we've got some guys that when there's good competition, if guys need to go in a game, they go in a game. I mean, it's, a starting position here is not, cemented in stone for the rest of the season. You got to perform, and that's it.
After the Maryland game, you were very upset, and I heard you in your post-game press conference, and you said we can't throw the ball if we can't catch the ball. Where's Chris Coyer's relationship right now with his wide receivers?
He's got a great relationship with them. We just got a bunch of young guys, and we got to throw, catch, and protect better. And, we went into Penn State realizing we wanted to balance it out because they were really good on defense. And we did that. We were very balanced against Penn State, but we dropped a bunch of balls. We overthrew some balls, and we dropped them. And what happens, people say, well, I have balance, throw. Yeah, that's great. But, you also, you got to stay on the field. And, if all of a sudden you throw a second down and now it's 3rd and 10, you don't complete, you're off the field. So both sides of the ball, we got to get off the field on defense on 3rd down. We got to stay on the field on offense on 3rd down. That's been a focus for us. But these are all little areas. Like, when I talk about these things, we're not far away in any one area. It's a play here, a couple of plays there. So we're hoping that we can hit our stride.
We're talking to Steve Addazio here on WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. And Coach, Montel Harris and Matt Brown, those two guys, they're very dynamic. You have a big plus in the backfield. How do you rank them going up against this USF front seven?
Well, I mean, we got two really good tailbacks, and that's the other thing. We're just talking about, balance and throwing the ball, but yet our two best playmakers are really our tailbacks right now. And in order to feature a tailback, you've got to run a tailback. So, they've got to become dominant in the game. But when you do that, then it's like, well, you got to throw more. But right now, Montel's the dominant player. He's healthy again. Matt's been a dominant player, and I'm hopeful that both those guys will get on track.
Let's get to the defensive side of the ball. In that first quarter of the Penn State game, you guys were getting to Matt McGloin, and then it seemed like in the second quarter your defense became tired. Is there anything you could take out of the first quarter of the Penn State game on the defensive side of the ball that you could generate a little bit more pressure this week on B.J. Daniels for 4 quarters?
Well, I mean, that's the game plan. Obviously, you got to do that. But, you know, then in the same breath, they got to get off the field so that they're not so tired. You know, we unfortunately let up a 3rd and 11 play and, you know, extended the field position on the first drive, which gave them an opportunity to go, you know, most of the way down the field. And then the offense started from the 20. And then on the next series, you know, converted a 4th and 5 play that led to a touchdown. So when you get off the field on defense, you're not as tired. And, of course, then on offense, better field position on offense, we got to convert. My point is, keep the defense off the field more. We'll give them the ability to be able to sustain that stinger.
And it would help if you guys would be able to get back Kadeem Cutsis this week. Where is he right now at health-wise?
Well, Kadeem Cutsis is not with our team, and he's not a part of the Temple football team right now.
Can you go into anything any further or no?
No.
Okay, so let's get to the capitalization off turnovers. You look at your defense, and when you have been able to get turnovers, you look at them, and the offense can't capitalize on the other end. How important do you view when your team gets an interception or a fumble to go down there and get 7? Because to me, when I look at this football team, right now the most valuable player has been McManus. And, hey, say what you want, he's going to be an NFL pro, but isn't that a little bit of a problem when your most valuable player is your kicker? You want to see a lot more 7s than punt, 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 field goal, punt, punt, punt.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a byproduct of not getting off the field on defense and not converting 3rd downs. You got to extend drives. But let me say this to you now. You know, we're also not playing, you know, we're playing some pretty good football teams.
You are.
Now. I mean, we play, you know, people want to talk about this, that, and the other thing. You know, we played a Maryland team that's a BCS team, a young team like us. We self-inflicted that game. We turned the ball over 3 times. We snapped the ball over the head, and we're still within 2 points of the game. We have a blocked field goal. We're 2 points within winning that football game in the end. We go to Penn State. Penn State's an outstanding team. That was supposed to be a top 10 team. They lost Silas Red and a couple of playmakers, but they're still a top 25 team, and they're probably a top 10, top 15 defense in the country. So we're measured off of 3 games right now, and we played some pretty good competition. So, you know, 2 years ago we played Penn State real tough. We actually moved the ball better this year against Penn State than we did a year ago against Penn State. So I just think that where we are right now is we've got to just make a few more plays, extend drives on offense, get off the field on defense, and then those things that we're talking about won't be as prevalent, okay? And you won't be so rely upon your punter, your field goal kicker. And you know, there's a lot of games in college football right now that are defensive struggles early in the season. And that's just the way it is. And you got to be able to win some of those games where they're defensive struggles, where they're 12, 13, 14, 15-point games. You got to win them. And we didn't in the last 2 weeks. There's a bunch of reasons why. But at the end of the day, we're going to improve, we're going to grow, and we're in this for the big picture here. And that's, you know, I want to go out, want to play well this week. I want our young team to clearly make improvements this week, and we will. You know, we're still playing the Big East with a MAC conference football team right now. That's what's happening. But that's fine. That's where it's going to be. It's great for our university, and we'll recruit and we'll grow to it.
You have a rigorous schedule, I will give you that, and then you look at the bye week that just happened. Do you think that was a positive for your team after 2 tough losses to, you know, take a week off, you know, get back onto the practice field before coming back into this Big East schedule that you have coming your way?
No, it was not a positive, but there's nothing that you can do about things. I'm a big believer. You control what you can. What you can't, you don't worry about. You make the positives out of it, and you roll forward.
Zach Gelb here, WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station on Temple Sports Hour, talking to the Temple Football Owls coach, Steve Addazio. Steve, 2 more questions right before we let you run. You talk about this team being very young, and one guy that has impressed me has been redshirt freshman Nate D. Smith. Can we just get a few words on him?
Nate's done a great job. He's all over the field. He's making plays. Got a great future, and we're excited that he's part of the team.
Coach, we're in the Big East now after taking a few years off. It's homecoming coming up this Saturday at the Link at 12 o'clock. What's your message to the fans right now about the current state of this program headed into Saturday at the Link?
Well, the state of the program is great. I mean, we're in the Big East. We're developing a young football team, which means we're going to have a great future. You know, enjoy major college football, support your program, and watch this team grow. I mean, that's what it's all about. We had a great season last year, 9-win year, a great bowl game. We lost a tremendous amount of seniors, but we've got some really good young players right now, and that's going to prove to be great for Temple in the future here. So enjoy that, embrace that, and then go enjoy the game Saturday and go watch a bunch of players playing their tails off. And that's what college football is, and the state of the program is is really a great, bright future. And I think will prove as the year goes on, you'll see some exciting moments from this football team.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. I appreciate it. Best of luck this Saturday, and I hope we get you on again real soon. Don't be a stranger to the show.
Take care. Thanks for having me.